Astrology is older than recorded history, which is why no one knows precisely how or where this ancient art began. What we do know is that the early astrologers looked up at the sky and began to detect patterns in the planetary movements. The moon became a very powerful indicator of events on Earth. Depending on the phase of the moon, different events could be predicted. Today, even the scientists are aware of the way the moon governs the tides, women's cycles, and even moods. In 18th century England, people who committed murder under a full moon were given a lighter sentence. Over the years, a symbolic language of astrology has developed. The word planet, for example, means a wanderer, since the planets are seen to move much more quickly than the smaller stars. The word zodiac means a circle of animals, since the early stargazers saw animal patterns in the way the stars formed in groups, known as constellations. Today, astrologers prepare astrology charts and offer guidance to people on personal development and matters such as health, relationships, finances, and careers. Many famous people consult astrologers when they need to make decisions. American President Ronald Reagan and British Princess Diana were known to call their astrologers regularly. Most people know their own sun sign. If you are an Aries or a Virgo, that means that the sun was in the constellation of Aries or Virgo when you were born. Astrologers have a special shorthand for each of the signs and planets. An astrology reading can take up to 2 hours, depending on the kind of detail that is required. To draw up an astrology chart for someone, the astrologer needs the date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. Today, we have computer software to plot the position of the planets at the time of birth. The chart provides a blueprint of the individual's journey through life. Most people like to have a chart reading once a year, to give them an idea of the kind of triumphs and difficulties they can expect during the coming year. Virtually every culture has its own form of astrology. Indian astrology, for example, uses a square chart and follows the movement of the moon. Chinese astrology works with animals instead of planets. It takes about 2 years to qualify as an astrologer, and another few years to make a name for yourself. It is not easy to make a living purely doing readings. Astrologers also write horoscopes, which are star predictions used in magazines and newspapers. But it is important that you have a skill for writing. Many also teach astrology or offer motivational talks or workshops. A website is important for an astrologer who wants to become better known, so a knowledge of social media is important. There are many online or live forms of astrology teaching available. There are no formal or legal requirements for an astrologer to practice, so they rely purely on their reputations. As such, no astrologer ever stops learning or perfecting their skills.